may not be knowing that they are their nationals. So if they come there, is there any facility for them to stay, or any kind of help or information desk from where they can make telephone calls, mobile calls, or any other kind of assistance regarding food, sheltering, etc.? Thank you.
You all. Actually, the question I have is a question I have been asking my citizens back in Sudan. And it is, there was a refugee, Somali refugee, who were living in Sudan. And actually they are worried about the situation now in Sudan. They asked me if I can tell them, if I can tell them to come here for their own safety and try to facilitate through the UNHCR to have their own living in Sudan, in South Sudan. And the other question is, we have, as you might be aware, there is 102 Somali citizens who arrived yesterday in Juba. Excellency, we are trying to facilitate them to go back to their country. But as you might be aware, it might take quite a number of days. So how long are we allowed to stay in the country to facilitate them to go back?
Myself, I'm working with Associated Press. My question is, you talk about the 72 hours ceasefire accepted by the two parties, but we learned that South Sudan have not been able to reach out to the leader of RSF Ameti for 6 days. And when this ceasefire commenced,
for clarification, whether you have been able to get a feedback from the RSF leader on the issue of the ceasefire and on the issue of talks somewhere in Juba or somewhere else? Thank you.
Good morning. First of all, I would like to thank the government of South Sudan and the efforts of President Salva Kiir and all other government officials. And also, I would like to appreciate the efforts by IGAD and other international community members that they are seeking to, that and the other international community members for the efforts to have the cessation of hostilities in Sudan. My comment is that when we have the previous 72 hours cessation of hostilities, it's very obvious that the rapid support forces, they use this. The rapid support forces, they use this cessation of hostilities to relocate their forces from place to place, and they started to attack some places of the Sudanese armed forces, and this is a clear violation. Once we have also this extension, when the Sudanese armed forces accepted to have cessation of hostilities for humanitarian purposes, the government accepted that. We have not received any answer from the rapid support forces. And as if you talk this morning, the rapid support forces attacked a Turkish plane when they came to Wadi Saidna Air Force Base for evacuation, and this happened this morning, 7:25 a.m. in the morning. And this is a clear violation and it has to be condemned. Thank you so much.
Comments, and not only you have made it here, but last night you met Malaysian, Pakistanis, and others. We have also put down the contingents to be able to help them. The situation, some of them are coming without passport and visa. We have discussed with the government have given anybody crossing really should not be impeded, should be allowed to go to safety. So yes, I think we should circulate to embassies here the contact point in the ministry so that you can have an easy contact to be able to contact us. If you have a flight and you want to clear, we'll also be able to give you those contacts so that you have a very easy, because the objective really is to facilitate. It's not to stop, it's to help. Because these are people who are coming running, are traumatized, and nobody can come and stop them. And this is why our government have opened up our airspace and also opened our borders. So we'll be able to give you the contact so that you can have an easy contact, whether there's a flight or any information for us to facilitate that. Ambassador Abdel Hakim from Somalia, this is a technical question that we need to have a lengthy discussion. You remember yesterday when you called me, I have talked to migration so that all those Somalis that came should be given an entry and as soon as possible. So there was a question of how long that they will be staying. Our understanding was that they are coming and they are proceeding. Proceeding where? This is the question now. If they were refugees and they have run and they have come to another third country, these were required the refugees. I have not seen Mary Helen from the UNHCR. I think technically we need some support from here. And Peter, you can help us on that, the acting humanitarian coordinator, for us to be able to be on safe side on the issue of refugees coming. So the question is to how many days that they can stay. Yesterday we gave them 7 days. We will, within 7 days, we'll be able to figure out what happened, and we'll consult if the UNHCR can give us really the technical advice on this particular individual. And the Embassy of Somalia should help us to separate those who want to leave and those who want to come. Those who want to leave or remain, they should be defined by UNHCR and our Commission for Refugees. On the Associate Press, Deng Machol, 72-hour ceasefire, RSF have not received a feedback for the last few days. RSF have been talking to us, but both we want to maintain balance, and we really want to thank President Burhan. He continued to receive telephone, although in spite of difficulties. You cannot also blame Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo. Even in our war in 2013, Dr. Riek left Juba, and he has to go to a difficult circumstances. When he was located by the mediators for us to be able to sit in Addis Ababa, it took time. So we must appreciate the situation that Hemeti is in. They will definitely answer. And there are people who are known to us here. They have been helping us. They were co-grantors of our own agreement. To some of you, President Burhan have come to Juba a number of times. Deputy President Hemeti have come to Juba a number of times. So we have, rapport, and our president, he has a good rapport to both of them, to President Burhan and Hemeti. You may recall that President Salva was the first Vice President of the Republic of Sudan. President Salva was also an army in the Sudanese armed army. So he has all that need to be able to help us, and this is why he has to approach both parties. And so, Machol, we are very hopeful that ceasefire will stand. I will come to what Jamal have said. Don't favor the issue of face-to-face talk. Don't favor even your own. If you quarrel, two of you, you cannot just talk. Somebody must come in between you somewhere, so that you can reduce the tension. When we talk of face-to-face, is the group, not leaders themselves. You know, the initiative can always be done, but again, to be accepted by both parties. The acceptance should come from both parties also. An initiative has been made for the top inside, because he got directed 3 heads of state so that they go to Khartoum. His Excellency President Salva, President Ruto, and President Ismail Gole of Djibouti. That is still standing. If the airport open today, they will be able to leave and go, you know, to Khartoum. The only technical thing, they cannot go to White Sina or Sudan, because they have to be in an agreed area where both of them can come and have the talk, the face-to-face. If not, then the options of the neighboring country will be an option that can bring two parties together. And we have the experience during our conflict here. We discussed it. It was not possible in the issues, because you have been helping us also to communicate some of our correspondence to the foreign minister. And on the issue of RSF attacking the position of government, I don't want to comment on it now, because it is the government have already made their position, and it is also very unfortunate that when we declare the ceasefire, you know, an international flight can come under the attack, because there are regulations, international regulations, governing, you know, space and governing the safety of those who are inside the plane. So we continue to hope that the RSF and the SAF would be able to de-escalate and then move into talk. And this is our real position, that we should build. A consensus should be built, ceasefire, and then have a longer ceasefire, cessation of hostilities, and look at how the parties can be brought to table so that they can talk and have a sustainable peace agreement. With that, I think I've finished all my questions. We have a cabinet. I'm sorry if there are people who have not asked questions. My office is open. The Undersecretary will circulate the contact of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. If there are nationals coming across, you will be able to know who to contact in our government. Thank you very much.
Good.